Hello and welcome back to Football Manager 2020 on the TomFM channel. Today it's hot to the top and we have got our youth intake at the club with all our regens. I'm really excited about it and hopefully we're going to see a few wonder kids come up in today's episode. So before we get started, just to let you know, we've had a bit of a mare. We've had a little bit of a mare. It's not too big. It's a little issue, but we're going to get around it and it's fine. Now, the original plan for today's episode was to play against Low Sun. All right, and you can see here that we actually played them already. And you're thinking, what's happened here, Tom? Essentially, I recorded a whole episode. I played 2 games, Ville and Low Sun. Everything went well. Everything was going perfect until I came to edit the video. And I'm not entirely sure how it's happened, because I've not changed any settings. I've not done anything to change anything. But the audio was absolutely atrocious. Brace your ears, but I'll give you a little bit of a sneak preview for it. So here you go. And Ben Khalifa has got to put this in the back of the net in the 46th minute. Ben Khalifa puts it in the back of the net. We've gone 1-0 up against Low Sun. This is the first time I think we've been beating them. So I'm not quite sure why that happened. Like I haven't changed any settings. I don't quite know why it's so loud and distorted. So hopefully this is all going to be fine. It looks like it's fine on my screen, but so do the other one. So I'm a little bit concerned about what's going to happen. So because the Low Sun game is such an important one, I would happily have gone back and played the game again and put it on camera for you because it's quite an important game. However, at this point, I'd saved the game, quit the game, and then gone to edit and then realised it was all rubbish. So then I had to go back in the game and I'm like, what do I do at this point? So I'm not entirely sure why that issue has been caused because I've not changed any settings myself. It's just awful audio. And I could record over the top of that, but right now it's 6:30 on Sunday, and this is meant to come out at 5 o'clock on Sunday, and it's now going to come out at like 8 o'clock on Sunday. So I'm running very late, so I've got to get this out to you, which is why we're sort of doing it like this. We're going to do the youth intake and then the Kriens game instead. Don't worry though, we have got another game against Low Sun this season, towards the end of the season, so we will play that game again. It's just a little bit frustrating that we've had to do this. So to go through the fixtures since you were last here for the 1-1 draw with Chiasso, we won a 3-0 game against Winterthur with Ben Khalifa, Buff and Morandi scoring the goals in that one. Superb. Schaffhausen, another 3-0 win there. Peter Pusic, Sukachev and Ben Khalifa getting the goals in that one. We then suffered a really frustrating 1-1 draw with Ville, which was really annoying, but luckily for us, at the same time, Low Sun also drew their game, so we still stayed level on points. Going to the game against Low Sun, 60 points apiece. We luckily came out with 2-1 winners with a Ben Khalifa penalty and a Morandi goal, with them scoring right at the end, having a bit of pressure towards the end of that game. But luckily for us, we came through and we won it 2-1, which means that we go top of the table by 3 points, which is huge. With 10 games to go, that could be all important. Of course, we've got to play Low Sun again, but if we lose to Low Sun, we'll go back on level points because I don't think we're going to lose any more games this season. I don't think they're going to lose any more games this season. So the only game that we could potentially lose or realistically lose is the Low Sun game. And now we're 3 points ahead of them with better goal difference. If we lose to them, we'll still probably be top of the table. So that is why that game was so huge. So later on in today's episode, we'll play Kriens as well. So you've got a game in today's episode. But the real reason you're here is, of course, the youth intake, which has come through. And I tell you what, it looks pretty decent to me. So before we look at this in more detail, you can have a regen named after you if you subscribe to a certain level on the Patreon. So get yourself on there if you're not already. Have a look, and if you fancy it, do consider donating, and you can have a regen named after you. If you're already on there, you can have any of these regens named after you if you'd like to. You're going to do it on a first come, first serve basis. Otherwise, I'm sure all of you want this particular 5-star regen. But if there's not a regen that you want there, or one being taken already that you want, you can wait till next year sort of thing, or honestly, it's up to you completely. I'm very open about everything, so whatever you want, let me know and we can sort it all out. But as we dive into it then, Permin Braillard, he is the first particular player with 5-star potential, 1.5-star current ability, attacking midfielder. He looks pretty decent, to be fair. He has got some really good physicals. Where they matter, his technicals are great. But what really shines out for this guy is his mentals. I mean, look at 16 teamwork, 13 flair, 16 determination, 11 decision making. It's really good. It's 12 work rate as well. You love to see it. He's going to be a superb player. These kind of mentals sort of point towards him being a very good player in the future. Fairly determined personality as well. Now, he's not been branded a wonder kid, so he's not got 150 potential ability, but he might have 149 potential ability, and that is still really, really top. So hopefully he will be a star player for us in the future. Second best player for us is Armand Kodra. He is a striker from Albania with 4.5-star potential ability. And he's not quite as good overall package-wise as the previous player, Permin. But he's still got some good physicals, some alright mentals. And where they matter, I suppose, His technicals are quite good. His finishing is 14, which is really quite good. His free kick taking of 12 is pretty decent as well. But he could improve on things like, long shots and heading and stuff like that. Especially at 6'6", his heading should be an awful lot better. But again, he looks like he could be a useful player. If he reaches the potential, he could be really, really good for us as well, which I'm pretty happy with. Ludovic Durand and Yannick Marty, a centre-back and a midfielder, both with 3.5-star potential. Both look like they could be quite good as well. Ludovic is the centre-back, and as you can see, his mentals are also alright, to be fair. His determination of 5 is a little bit low, coupled with his personality of unambitious isn't brilliant. But he has got some good physicals, and where they matter, his technicals are also pretty good. So if he reaches that potential, he could be a very decent squad player. The only thing that holds him back is his determination. That lets him down a little bit, I believe. Yannick Marty sort of suffers from a similar kind of thing. His determination is only 4, which is a little bit low for my liking. But his other mental stats are really impressive, I think, with teamwork, vision, and work rate. 13, 12, and 14, respectively. They are really good. Where they matter, his technicals also, they're okay for now. They'll get better, obviously, because he's only 16 years old. But he's a player that could be quite good and looks very useful because his role suitability is fantastic. I love that versatility. If only he just gets better determination and a better personality, he could be a really useful and good player for us in the future. Outside of these top 4 players, we get to the 3-star potentials, and that's kind of where we're probably going to see drop-offs, and these players might not make it, sort of thing. Remember that the stars are relative to your level as a club. So 5-star for us might be 3 stars to Manchester United, sort of thing. That's kind of how it relates. So it's only done for your level. So if we get promoted, a lot of these 3-star players might drop down to 2 stars, whereas Primin, he might actually stay at 5 stars next season. It kind of depends. It's all relative, but I think we could have had a lot worse youth intake coming through. We've got a potential wonder kid in Permin, although I'm not quite sure he will be. But for our first youth intake, I am really pleased. We've not really optimised the recruitment staff around all this as well, and the development staff. So once that all gets properly sorted, I think we could have a really top youth academy with a great development centre and great regens coming through every single season. So again, if you want one of these regens named after you, let me know on the Patreon, first come, first serve basis. If you want to save it for next season, that's absolutely fine. Let me know. And also, if you want to choose a rubbish player, but they end up being rubbish and we never play them, we can have the option of renaming your player to someone else in the future, sort of thing. So just let me know what you want, and I'm sure we can work something out. So overall, I'm pleased. We've got some potential really good players coming through, and we might look to play them towards the end of the season if we do manage to get promotion way ahead of Luzern if they start losing games, for example. So heading into today's game against Kriens, this is the lineup we are going to be going for. So we've got Salvi in goal with a backline of Cabral, Baba, Svetkovic, and Goncalves. He's coming in for Aragorn today, just because I think Goncalves is slightly better and we need to start using him a little bit more. Also, we do actually have a suspension for Aragorn as well. So he has got a yellow card, so he has to be suspended. He had 5 yellow cards, so had to be suspended for a game. So that's why Goncalves is playing today as well. But I want to try and make him my first choice. Pusic, by the way, also injured for 2 weeks or so he's not playing in today's game. But Buff and Allen starting in midfield with Mondialo on the left, Morandi in the middle, and Sukichev on the right. And Ben Khalifa is going to be leading the line for us today. Is he up to 15 goals yet this season? 15 goals in the league. He has been on fire. Really had a bit of a slow start to the season, but has become just an integral part of our club. Morandi, though, for me, is the unsung hero. 12 goals and 3 assists from that attacking midfielder position. He's been superb. I'm really pleased with him, how he's progressed this season. At only 21 years old, got a lot of potential still. I think he's probably the first name on the team sheet for us every single time. So then kickoff is upon us, and we're looking forward to today's game. A win here today would be superb. Lausanne are also playing at the moment. They're playing Winterthur, so we've got to keep an eye on that score. Because if Lausanne lose and we win, that really puts us in a driving position towards the end of the season. As Morandi comes forward on the ball, Buff into Mondiale. If we can grab an early goal here, that would be superb. As Cabral into Mondiale, putting it just wide of the post. Another chance for us to come forward now through Svetkovic coming forward. Not usually an attacking player, but gets the ball forward all the way to Goncalves in the end, who's got plenty of time to put a cross in. I think the cross takes a big deflection, which puts it into the path of Ben Khalifa, who grabs his 16th of the season, and that's a great assist for Goncalves. We haven't seen Aragorn do this enough this season. Whereas there we go, Goncalves straight up there, and I don't think it did take a deflection. I thought it had done, but actually looking at that replay, I don't think it did. So even better, a fantastic cross from Goncalves, and Ben Khalifa grabs another goal, which is fantastic. And another chance now, Oliver Buff, who I'm still... Oh, what a great goal that is. Ben Cleaver gets on the end of another cross. Oliver Buff with another assist. He's got plenty this season. But I'm still in two minds about him. Like I feel bad playing him almost because I know he's leaving and I know he's a snake and I know he wants to leave the club. However, he is the best player at the club, so I feel like we have to use him. Even though I don't want to use him because he's let me down and betrayed me and hurt me, we've got to do it. And if we want promotion, we've got to see it through, as Lausanne are still drawing with Winterthur, which is fantastic for us, because if that stays as it is, we're going to be 5 points clear of them with 9 games to go this season. This could be working out massively in our favour. Goncalves coming forward on the ball in this second half then, as we've really taken control. Really, no highlights since that goal as well, pretty much. It's all been plain sailing through a second half, but if we can grab a third goal here today, that'd be fantastic, as Monzialo hits the post, can't get the rebound. It's given a free kick to Kriens, unfortunately. I think actually could be in danger of relegation, although saying that, Stade Lausanne are on 15 points there, 12 points clear of them, so I'm not quite sure they're going to get relegated. I think Stade Lausanne are pretty much nailed on for relegation by the looks of things right now, but the 2-horse race is looking like it could become a 1-horse race with 9 games to go. If we can get 5 points clear of Lausanne, that is the most amount of points I think any team has had at the lead, at the top of the table, I think. I don't think we've been more than 5 points behind Lausanne. We've certainly not been 5 points ahead of them before this season. So I think this is a fantastic place to be in form. If Lausanne drop out of form now, that's perfect for us. As the clock ticks down towards the end of the game, Lausanne have grabbed a goal in the 90th minute in their game, which is frustrating. That's annoying. It leaves them 3 points behind us still, so it's still good for us, as a good free kick from Buff is put over the bar by the keeper. But it's not quite the 5 points that it could have been, but we're still 3 points ahead. So we can't get too upset, as Ben Khalifa gets his hat-trick today, 18th of the season. What an episode this has been. I'll tell you what, we've had a regen day, which has been really good. We've had Ben Khalifa with a hat-trick. We're 3 points clear at the top of the table with 9 games to go. You love to see it. You know, it couldn't really get that much better, could it? So that was a good win. We're going to go passionate there. Well done, lads. Good win for us. Beautiful. Also, that's now 11 games in a row in the league without losing a game. Now, we lost a couple of games in the sort of winter break friendly and stuff like that, but we haven't lost a game since our last loss to Lausanne, which was a 3-0 loss. Fantastic stuff. Next episode, then, I'll tell you what, we're going to go for it. We're going to go straight to this Lausanne game and play the final 3 league games of the season, and that will determine if we get promoted as champions or not, or have to go through that promotion playoff. So that's exciting. So the time right now is 6:53. I've got to edit this, render it, and upload it before 8 o'clock. If you're watching this video and it came out at 8 o'clock, I have succeeded. It potentially a little bit late, but there's nothing you can do about that, is there? So apologies, but it might be slightly late. Thank you very much for watching today's video. I hope you have enjoyed it. And if you have done, please do drop a like on the video for me and subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. I'll see you next time. Have a good evening. Goodbye.